Welcome back to ATTREDIDON Gaming with your hosts, Corey.
And Travis.
Hello. We're doing Dark Souls. Yeah, I've been really looking forward to this, actually. Like, ever since we started doing the channel, I'm like, I can't wait to play Dark Souls. Dark Souls is one of my favorite games. It's incredible. It's a ton of fun to play. It's got a great, like, challenging difficulty curve. The lore is fantastic. I don't know. I just love everything about it.
Yeah, if you can dig it up.
Well, I don't know. The reason I like Dark Souls is it's just like, I don't know. It really it invites mastery, I guess, is something I've heard before. Like on the Extra Credits channel, they said that once. Like, I don't know. It's just a game that it's like something you can be good at. Like it means something, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna hop in today, playing Dark Souls. We're gonna take it slow. We're gonna like take our time with it and dig into the lore. And we're not gonna go. We're not like doing a try hard run here.
Yeah,
by the way,
speed.
Yeah,
play.
we're gonna take it easy. I have actually set up. Let me do a thing real quick, cause I couldn't decide what kind of build I wanted to do for this game, so we are going to let fate decide. Let me pull up a random number generator, and I have, let's see, 1 through 9, and let the, not generate, 8. Okay, we are going to do a magic swordsman build. Okay, so I'm going to, Travis, what should our name be? And this is our first big decision.
Definitely magic swordsman.
Just with a K?
I don't know. Magic swordsman.
Kyle. There's not enough. Kyle.
If your name happens to be Kyle, by the way.
Congratulations. You should feel honored.
Yeah, you can place yourself a little bit better into the shoes of our character.
Alright, we're going to start as a sorcerer. I think, yeah. Kind of want to start. Magic swordsman. You do a couple different options with this.
Right. Well, if you're unfamiliar with Dark Souls, you'll see that the stats next to all those words there, level of vitality, attunement, such, change as he goes through. Now, you can apply points to any of those as you level up.
Yeah.
But you do, you know, there's obviously some advantage to picking a build at the beginning that gives you a little boost.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start as a sorcerer, because he already has... I don't know. See, this is already the first big question. Like, actually, I'm going to start as the thief, because the two big things that I'm going to be focusing on dexterity, and I'm going to need a certain amount of intelligence, and the thief starts with 15 dexterity and 12 intelligence.
Look at the sorcerer again.
11 dexterity and 15 intelligence. But I'm not going to be able to get magic sword for a while. So the early game, I think, is going to be easier as a thief. Besides, look how cool I look. So yeah, thief, gift.
Gear to steal something.
Could go master key. That gives us some cool stuff early on. I think I'm going to go old witch's ring, actually, though, because we want this to be kind of lore intensive.
Oh,
and the old witch's ring lets me...
You can talk to her.
Yeah, the old witch's ring lets me talk to someone later. We're supposed to be timing these episodes, Travis. Hold on. Let me... Shut up. Start. There we go. Timing. Physique, average, face. I always go as Jubilant Katarina, because Dark Souls is a game filled... Like, look at how sad all these people look. Sad.
You know, you can change the face to be a little happier.
Wait, can you?
Yeah, go to customize.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I never hit that button, actually. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
I actually never realized.
You change your hormones to be masculine or feminine.
Wait, seriously? There's a hormone slider?
Yes.
This game is...
Change your hair.
Never...
You can customize even further.
Okay, we need to be clear. I have beaten Dark Souls. I have. Travis has not yet, but Dark Souls is a huge, intricate game. I'm gonna say that I have a high school diploma in Dark Souls. I'm gonna say that.
I've completed 7th or 8th grade in Dark Souls.
Well, I'm just gonna be Jubilant Katarina. Hair. Yes, stylish.
Real nice bowl cut.
And yes, there we go. All right. Here's Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Yeah. All right. So first off, you'll notice if you're new to the Dark Souls series, the lore isn't just handed to you. You have to earn the story.
Oh, you gotta earn it.
And right off the bat, not a lot of information. We're Kyle. We're already actually missing some stuff. Thief. Isn't there? Oh yeah, guilt-ridden thief, high critical hits. We start with the master key anyway. So yeah, I forgot about that.
Master key comes in handy opening certain doors that you can't open. You can buy the master key eventually. So if you don't pick it at the very beginning, you're not permanently
screwed.
losing certain
By the time
options.
you can get it, you kind of get into the most of the stuff you need anyway.
That's true. Like, you're pretty far in when you have the option to buy it.
But yeah, so you could be a fearless warrior, low-ranking knight, aimless wanderer, guilt-ridden thief, savage bandit, bow-wielding hunter, sorcerer of Vinheim. And I like how Dragon School doesn't tell you what that is. It's just like sorcerer of that, duh, swamp pyromancer, cleric on pilgrimage. What pilgrimage? The interesting thing is, I don't think it ever even tells you in the game like what your pilgrimage is. Unclothed enigma. Ooh, yeah, look at me.
Look at that chest hair.
Yeah,
what is that?
I never. Huh. All right, you could just be that. Anyway, we're gonna go thief. Old Witch's Ring. So you can start with, once again, doesn't tell you a lot about this stuff. Divine Holy Water, fully restores HP and status. Explosive Impact, Twin Humanity. Tiny sprite called Humanity, sometimes found in carcasses. Doesn't tell you the significance of that. Nothing. Binoculars, which is, I feel, is like kind of like a fuck you, because you can get the binoculars almost
super
immediately.
early. Yeah.
Pendant. This literally does nothing, by the way. No effect. They're not lying to you.
Yes.
Take this, it does nothing.
The designer of the game has said this. This pendant does nothing.
Master Key. Now, Tiny Ding's Ring, I'm going to call bullshit on this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know this is a lie.
The Tiny Beans Ring gives you a little bit extra HP. This slow HP recovery, no,
doesn't do it. Does
not recover HP.
Like taking a tune from Extra Credits, which if you guys don't know, Extra Credits is like a YouTube channel that like takes more of like an academic look at video games. They're super awesome. Go check them out. One of the reasons they say that Dark Souls is great is because it's hard but fair. Like it clues you into things. I actually feel like this is breaking that rule a little bit, because I feel like out and out lying to you is a bit of a douche move.
This is a lie. It does not recover your HP slowly. It gives you a little bit of HP.
Yeah, and
part of me wonders if just some programmer forgot to.
I've heard it's a translation issue, but they've patched this game several times. So I can't believe From Software doesn't know about this.
And I do have the Prepare to Die edition, which isn't the first edition.
Yeah. So
in the Old Witch's Ring.
Which, Gift from Witch, Ancient Ring with no obvious effect. I know what the effect is, but you don't. Well, you kind of do. Anyway. So yeah, this is us. This is just the game. And it just throws you right in. And you just have to deal with it.
Also, real quick, notice you do start off with certain items. You have your armor. You have the Old Witch's Ring, as you can tell in the little ring slot, one of the two.
Yeah.
You got your shield, you got your weapon, which looks to be like a funky sort of scimitar. Not scimitar.
Bandit's knife.
Machete. Anyway, so.
Yeah. Let's hop in. We know nothing so far, story-wise. You don't know anything. We just made Kyle. Except.
Alright,
and
prepare for a super cool intro video.
I gotta learn the mythology.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
super cool intro video, and I'm kind of proud of myself. I made it through that whole thing without cracking one joke.
Yes, indeed.
Hold on. What's the? Oh yeah.
The dark side bright.
It's been so long since I've actually like watched this all because he's just passed through it.
There's that guy hanging out.
And this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Thanks.
Hi there.
You're not gonna say anything?
Okay.
Welcome to Dark Souls. Yeah.
So-
Let's. Oh, we gotta turn the brightness up. We said we were gonna do that.
Yes.
There we go. That way it looks a little better.
What I find ironic, one, is that he dropped an entire corpse and not just the dungeon cell key.
Yeah, never really thought about that. Never really thought about that.
I want to clarify, if you couldn't tell from the intro video, everyone in this game has moderate to severe depression. So keep that in mind as we try to merrily skip through the land and play through Dark Souls.
Yeah. So, real quick, before I even leave this fucking room, because there's so much... This game is it's so fucking dense. We're never going to be able to talk about it all. Okay, a couple things. So, first off, we just learned the mythology... Like, that was a big lore dump, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this big mythology of, like, the creation of the world and shit. And... There's dark, and then there's fire, and then there's these guys who get the Lord souls, and what are those? And like it never addresses like where did they come from? Like where'd Gwyn come from? Never talks about it. They're just there.
Yeah, or Islith, or Nito.
And later on, some of them are going to be called gods, but notice that like they're not called gods there. Like it never actually calls them gods. In fact, I don't think in the entire series the Witch of Islith is called a god. So like what exactly makes someone a god or not is not entirely clear to me. We also know that there are undead. They're showing up, and something's happening. Like it says, the fire is dying. So we know that like something is happening, and
the status quo is being challenged.
Yeah, some folks don't like it, and the undead are showing up for some reason. All of a sudden, we also know that the undead are corralled. So like not everyone's undead. Like this whole world is not undead. Like we have been sent away from, like... Oh, look at my red hair. We have been sent away from, like, the world proper, like, the modernized world, into, like, the wilderness, because they don't want to deal with our shit.
And this world is called... This area you're in is called Lordran.
Right now, we're just in the Undead Asylum. Lordran.
Yeah, we're in the Undead Asylum. We're not in Lordran yet. The place you play in is called Lordran.
The Undead Asylum might be in Lordran, technically. I don't know.
I suppose it's possible.
But anyway, you're just this guy. You're Kyle. Why are you here? What are you doing? Like, even right now, like this is an interesting thing. Like, I'm undead. I'm just waiting for the world to end. Like, what do I want? Like, this guy dude shows up, drops this corpse, gives me a key. Where is it? There it is. And now, like, why do I even want to leave? Like, I just do it because it's a game. Like, look at me doing this. But, like...
Well, presumably people like to get out of prison once placed in. So aside from obvious psychological factors,
I guess.
Like, what is your character's motivation here? I don't even know if the character knows.
I'm just going, man.
Now you'll see. We'll eventually later get to the guy who dropped the corpse down to you, and that's when you're sort of given the quest, as it were.
Yeah.
But right now you're just a dude.
Now, real quick, let's go over our items. We're going to take our time with this. Black Separation Crystal. So we have this. Banished Phantom, Return from Home. This black crystal, long a symbol of farewell, is granted to banished undead. So it's something they gave me before they sent me away. This crystal sends phantoms back to their homes. No, we don't know what that means yet, or sends you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations. That's cool. Dark Sign. Lose humanity and souls and return to bonfire. The dark sign signifies an accursed undead. Are there non-accursed undead? Who knows? Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. So right off the bat, we're told that there's a difference between the hollow and the undead. Like there's a distinction there. All hollow are undead, but not all undead are hollow. Death triggers the dark sign, which returns as bearer to the last bonfire rested at. What does that mean? But the cost of all humanity and souls. What does that mean?
And so, also pay attention, like, a lot of times in games, game mechanics aren't actually explained as part of the world.
Yeah, like I mentioned this to you before, like in Final Fantasy X, like, what are save spheres? Like, they're just... There's no story they're just there.
No one explains what a save sphere is in Final Fantasy X.
Kingdom Hearts, like the save points. They're just there.
But there are games like, for example, Borderlands. The fact that you respawn is accounted for. There's a machine that basically clones you.
Which, although why, like, the bad guys can't...
Why no one uses this?
Even that's gamey,
Who knows?
right? Yeah. Nothing there. Keys. Master key opens any basic lock. Universal key opens any basic lock. Tool of the trade for thieves. But in the cursed land of the undead, most doors are better left unopened. Ooh. Dungeon cell key.
Especially some doors.
Opens dungeon of undead asylum in the north. Key to the dungeon of the undead asylum to the north. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved a corpse into the cell, and on its person was this key. Who was this knight, and what was his purpose? There may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. Must we, game? I like how you insist on that. Nothing there. Straight hold.
Let's not try to rebel against everything.
Don't tell me what to do. Straight horde hilt. Straight sword hilt.
There you go.
Numbers. What do they mean? I know, but the game doesn't explain it. Look at all this. Do you know how long it took me to understand everything?
Okay,
this
so
is
let's
telling me here?
explain this to you right now. So
It might take a while to go through all of this. I mean, it's a lot to go over.
Let's go over basics. Okay, so obviously there's where it says attack and regular thrust. That's the attack type that it does. And then there's various stats. Physical is obviously like
How hard it
hit,
hits.
and then there's magic, fire, lightning, and critical. 100's typical. Param bonus. It's parameter bonus. That's actually the important one that we want to talk about. Those letters, those indicate how greatly the damage you do with this weapon increases with those stats.
Yeah, like how much it's influenced by. So it's like strength, dex, faith, strength, dex, intelligence, and faith. So this has an E scaling in both, which means like it weakly scales with strength and dexterity.
Yes,
so like with each point you put into dexterity or strength as you level up, you get a little bit of a bonus for this weapon.
Now where it says damage reduction, all that has to do with is if you use the weapon for a shield.
And why would you?
The required parameters, the rec param, is just what your stats need to be to use it. Durability, self-explanatory. Weight, self-explanatory. There you go.
Ish. I mean, even then. Anyway.
This sword weighs 1 pound.
Yeah. Straight sword, attack type, regular thrust. This helped. The hilt, I can't talk today, of this lost sword was found discarded in the Undead Asylum. Only slightly better than one's bare hands and not recommended for extensive use. Be certain to find a replacement quickly. I'll do my best. Nothing. Thief mask. This basically, I mean, this is not too hard to explain.
Yeah.
Physical defense, strike, slash, basically the various defenses. Poise. These things give you no poise. Interesting. Poise is like the higher you poise, the easier it is to like knock your character over, bleed, poison, curse resist.
No, the higher your poise, the harder it is to knock your character over.
That's what I meant. Thank you. And Old Witch's Ring, engraved minutely with indecipherable script, but seemingly useless.
Seemingly.
Change equipment. I don't think I want to do anything with anything. Yeah, I guess I.
Yeah, we don't need the ring right now. We'll tell you when we get to the.
And you know what? We're gonna go.
use of the ring.
I don't want to use. I want to use my bare hands. So screw you. And yeah, we have stats. Look at all these stats. Look at all of them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Anyway, let's go. Let's hit some stuff.
We're gonna Dark Souls.
Read message. There's a thing here.
Now, these messages here are left by creators of the game. Obviously, they say right stick controls, camera controls. Look at that. But other players can leave, or players can leave other players messages. This is technically an online game. Some of those messages are very useful. For example, there are illusory walls in this game, and some people will point that out to you.
It looks like he's having a bad day, Travis.
Or a great day. Praise be unto you, wall.
How are you? How are you? You don't look like you're doing good.
He's in the sun. That's a good indication.
Attack. Thank you. What if I don't want to? And then this, I love this. Right off the bat, the game is like, yeah, guess what? You're going to have a terrible time here.
You don't actually fight him for a while. You're going to fight his younger brother, so to speak.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at the size.
Yeah.
He'd eat you.
Anyway. The fuck is my money? Fuck you. Yeah. In the gut. In the gut.
You took to murder pretty well.
Yeah, right off the bat. Interesting. Like, it's such a gamey thing, but right off the day, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I feel like starting my day off
I think I will kill this person
with a little bit of murder.
Now, it didn't show it. When he hits that person, that hollow then is like, hey, I'm going to fight back now.
Actually, no, these guys don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah, these the only guys in the game that will never hit you back, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong.
He'll judge you. Look at that.
Yeah.
Did I see something move?
It was a ghost of another player.
Oh yes, you can encounter ghosts of other players. Often you'll see them right before they die, or near the.
You can trigger that, but also you'll just see them like around and about occasionally.
Yeah, you'll finally just like those soap steins on the floor, you'll occasionally find blood stains, and if you activate the blood stain, it'll show in silhouette form how someone died.
It's actually kind of useful.
You don't see what killed them necessarily. You just see their avatar.
Yeah.
And you eventually move around, fall over. You just assume something killed them.
Yeah.
They'll fall off a cliff.
Let's take this episode a little long, Travis, just because like we haven't actually done much yet.
We're gonna do things, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we promise.
That's
oh,
what
and you
life's
can
about,
you can
doing
pose.
things.
You can bow to things.
You can bow. Luther.
I got used to these controls, and you know we play on an Xbox, and this is technically an Xbox controller we're using, but it's still a little bit different. Anyway, all right, yeah,
Whatever,
let's.
Corey. It doesn't feel different.
It feels different.
The controller doesn't feel different from other controllers.
Trust me, it does.
It has faith in itself.
Anyway, well, this looks like a good time. Looks like nothing wrong could go here. We're having a good old time. Oh God! Really? Not even gonna give me a weapon? Ha!
You
Punch
don't get
you.
a weapon yet.
Punch you.
So look how much damage you're doing.
Yeah.
Its health's at the bottom.
You technically can kill this like this if you want to.
Fun fact: you can select as your starting weapon the standard fire or the fire bomb.
I wonder if I can do this. I mean, I can. It's going to take longer than I may be willing to do it. Wow. In the butt. Alright, I'm done with this. Having fun. You do get something really cool if you do kill him, but yeah.
Forget, what do you get?
You get his big-ass hammer.
Oh, that's right. I've never killed him there, mostly because I like my master key as a starting item.
Man.
But if you start as thief, you get that, and you can pick the fire bomb, which is very useful for fighting him at that point. Now here's where you start to get your actual equipment.
That thing's not going to chase me, so... Oh, yeah.
Let's equip your target shield. She's got.
So, physical damage reduction, 78%. That means for anything physical coming at me, 78% of it is negated, which means some damage does bleed through. Small shield, attack type strike. You can technically hit people with shields, that's what that's about. Small round metal shield, 4 protrusions used to parry attacks. Small shields are always less stable, but landing critical hits after a parry is easier. This shield is specialized for parrying, which literally means the frame animation that I get for parrying things is longer, so it's easier to parry things. Also, you'll notice it says stability 45. That's pretty low for shields. Stability means when you block with a shield, it takes stamina. The higher the stability, the less stamina it takes. So I can't tank with the shield very well. Not that I'm going to be meaning to. Oh God.
If you time it right, which our friend Corey here did not,
yeah.
You can roll through arrows. In fact, and I'd ask you to confirm this, while you're rolling, there's a number of frames in the rolling movement in which you are impervious to harm.
Yeah, and technically, because see how my equipment load is low enough that I have the fast roll, so I get a shit ton of invulnerability frames. I cannot talk. I should probably block things.
Arrow to
I need to learn to Dark Souls again. Die.
Oh yes, blocking is your best friend.
I might not block as much in this round, actually. I'm going to be focusing on dodging. Bandit's Knife. Wide, single-edged short sword is a favorite of lowly thieves and bandits, primarily a slicing weapon, but highly effective use from critical hits, such as parrying from behind. This thing, it says critical 147. This thing, basically, when doing critical hits, parrying and then hitting something back.
Yeah, if you parry correctly. Now, hold up. This is a fog gate.
Oh, yeah. I'm so used to, all the little details.
So fog gates are throughout the game, and it'll ask you, do you want to traverse the white light? Now, sometimes you go through fog gate, nothing special happens. Other times you go through fog gate, and you best gird your loins for action, because stuff's going to happen.
Traverse the white light.
There's one fog gate in particular.
Can you fall down there?
No, I've tried it. We'll get to it eventually, folks, but you go through the fog gate, and you really got to have high reflex.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I'm in a dead end. Thank you. I wonder...
So, yeah, that's a message that a player left, and he's a cheeky chap, whoever he or she is.
I'll get that out at a later point.
And, yeah, it's just this is a dead end. Other times, people will leave you messages that are just straight up lying, such as try jumping off, when you should not try jumping off from whatever cliff that they put this on.
I love how you can two-hand this. Anyway. And, oh look, there's a fellow in there.
Who's that fellow there?
Oh, how am I gonna get him? And now, key to Dark Souls, keep your eyes open. What do I see? What do we see, Travis?
We see a stairway. We see, what is that at the top of the stairway?
Looks around. I'm gonna investigate. Oh shit.
No.
Anyway, let's see if I can parry this guy. I suck at parrying. Let's see if I can do this.
Boom!
Yeah.
232. Now, because his critical stat is higher, he's going to do more damage because he parried and riposted than if he were to use another weapon with the same stats.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry.
Die soon, then lose my sanity.
I like that, then.
Something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Sure.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission.
What is your mission?
But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt be. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Thank you.
Oh, and this.
I don't know why you didn't put that on the corpse you just dropped down. Oh, I guess because he was still on his mission at that time.
Yeah.
Well, then why let me go in the first place?
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
Fun
So,
fact, you can kill him if you want to and are of the sort of
You're a
personality
dick.
to do so. Yeah.
anyway, so let's leave.
Speed his passing. By the way, Estus Flask, that
And-
heals you.
Wait for it. Ah, I got his souls. Every enemy who dies gives you souls. Yeah, Estus heals you. Check it. Let's read up on
And-
Estus. The undead treasure these dull green flasks filled with Estus. What is Estus? At bonfire. Fills HP. The Estus are linked to the Firekeepers. What are Firekeepers? The Dark Tales. What are the Dark Tales? I love how much this game is just like it. Fuck you. This. Also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. So much of this game reminds me of just myth. The creation story. Like, I was rereading the Norse creation story the other day, and it's just like, there was Muspelheim and a guy named Surt, and he guards Muspelheim with his flaming sword. And where did he come from? Fuck you. Just, he's there. Don't ask stupid questions. Also, resting at bonfire brings things back to life. So,
Well, yes. So it brings the enemies back to life. Also restores your Estus flasks. You'll learn later that we can kindle the bonfires, in which case you'll get more Estus flasks. You can also improve the Estus flasks so they heal more. We'll get to that, I suppose, when we get to it, though. But, yes, bonfires do bring back enemies, and they restore your Estus flasks. And all such goodness. Not to mention, they're just a sight for sore eyes. You know, when you're going through a dungeon, and you've been going through it for like the 15th time because you keep dying, you finally find that bonfire, you could just pee yourself with happiness. Don't, but you could if you're so inclined. 232.
yeah, that's actually really good damage. I've not rolled as the thief as the opening player before, and that's actually really good damage.
Maybe
early
show
on.
him you can also do a backstab.
Yeah, I'll try.
So
There we go.
this doesn't do as much damage, 184.
Still does pretty good damage.
But you don't have to time a parry. You just have to get behind your opponent. Important things about parrying, though, and critical hits from behind. There are only certain creatures you can do that to. So you can parry these guys.
This guy always gives me trouble with parrying. I don't know. Maybe it's because I have the target shield, which has more parrying frames, but I suddenly am okay at parrying. Also, ragdoll
It took me a
physics.
while to get good at parrying. I had to like watch a YouTube video and like look at all the stats for the shields.
Yeah.
And like, this one will give you longer parrying frames.
Hint, while falling plunging attack.
That's
If
important.
you two-hand your weapons, you do a little bit more damage.
So remember what I said about fog gates and how sometimes there's some action on the other side? This is that time.
Hi there. If you wait too long up here, he comes for you. Stabbing.
Boom. Nearly half his health gone.
And I'm actually going to keep two-handing my weapon, because I'm not going to be blocking shit here. Come on, Corey. Oh, ow. Come on.
Alright, so sizable hit, but Corey's still in it. Let's just flash. Get that health back up. I like how his dinky wingspan manages to lift his supermassive body.
Yeah, magic. Oh. I got lucky there.
Boom!
Did that, like, multi-hit or something? Seemed to do more damage than normal. Anyway.
Now, because Corey is using a smaller weapon, he can swing it more often. The bigger weapons, which although they do more damage...
Yeah!
Oh, nice. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. You didn't know? You've never done your poses?
I've done a pose, just didn't do that one.
Yeah.
Joy!
Anyway, and now here's the interesting thing. Also, I'm just going to give credit where credit's due. I got this off of extra credits as well. Notice that you can still hear the feet.
Footsteps.
Yeah. A hint of things to come.
Right, remember that first demon we saw? Well.
There's an encouraging hint here. Good job! Go straight ahead. I get anything cool from that guy? Oh, I got a humanity. Let's check this out. I gotta go over here to check this out. Toggle display. Humanity. Rare, tiny, black sprite found on corpses. Used to gain 1 humanity and restore a large amount of HP. What does it mean to gain a humanity? This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold within ourselves? What indeed? You want to just... Okay, we'll take this episode just a little longer. We'll show you the cool thing. Here.
We'll at least get out of... Oh, I forgot that item was there.
Yeah, man. Soul of the Lost Undead. Soul of the Lost Undead, who has long ago gone hollow, used to acquire souls. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. Which is interesting, actually. If I'm remembering correctly... If I'm remembering my, like, technical, like, Aristotelian, like, definition of, like, soul and, like, I'm talking, like, Thomas Aquinas, even, like, the soul is just, like, that which makes you alive, which...
Yeah, I suppose the soul would be that thing that makes you human.
Like, you could argue, I think... God, it's been so long. Like, wasn't there, like, some folks who argued, basically, that, like, even, like, your physical shape can be considered your form? Or your soul under the, like, Aristotelian definition, because it's, like, your shape that keeps you alive.
Yeah, so, crash course in Greek philosophy. Aristotle theorized about the 4 causes. There's the material cause.
Oh, God, Travis, this might be a little bit much.
They're going to take it. There's the material cause, there's the formal cause, there's the mechanical cause, and the final cause. The ones we're most familiar with in this day and age are the material and mechanical causes. Material cause, what something is made of, and the mechanical cause is how it came about. So, bicycle, made of metal, put together by someone in a factory. What we're not so familiar with today are the formal and final causes. The final cause is the thing's purpose. That's the rough translation or understanding. We'll get to that later. The formal cause, though, is essentially what a thing is. So consider a dog. I mean, you have dogs that look entirely different from other dogs. Like, pugs are completely different from Siberian Huskies. But they're both a dog. And I think what Corey's getting at is that if you have a soul, you sort of have this thing that defines what you are. So despite what you might look like, despite your traits, characteristics, you are a human. Specifically in Catholic theology, this is then used to say, like, this is where the pro-life argument comes from, at least from a Catholic perspective.
You don't even have to take it. I mean, you don't have to take it to a Catholic place. I mean, if you're referring to like things having essences, so like, I mean, it's the debate. Like, is there a thing apart? Like, what is it that makes you human? And you can kind of pare things down. Like, you cut off, like, humans have arms, but clearly there are armless humans. And
they're
humans,
still human.
Right, like, you lose your arms, you don't cease being human. Humans have, humans can talk, but if you're mute, you're still a human. So, like,
Right.
you can sort of pare things down into, like, what is the final thing that makes you a human.
And you can even take it to an extreme. Like, let's say someone, heaven forbid, had a terrible accident, entirely dependent on machines to keep them alive, zero brain activity. Depending on your definitions of alive, that person's still a human.
Well, depending on your definition of human, that person's still a human, really.
True. But the idea here is that if you took away everything physical, like all the traits, there might still be a thing called humanness, which makes a human, and that is the soul.
Right, which, bringing this back to Dark Souls, there's that interesting question of, if the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold within ourselves? So, I don't know. I love. That's why I love Dark. Part of the reason I love Dark Souls is it poses all these really interesting questions.
Yeah.
So, like, you have these things you keep getting from enemies called souls, and then there's this other thing called humanity, which is evidently distinct.
Right. And souls are just, this game's lousy with souls. You kill one, like the guys we killed back in the asylum that didn't even fight back. Like, they've got multiple souls on them. It's a small amount compared to some other enemies, but, you fight a creature later on in the game, it's like you get 1,000 souls.
Interestingly, I've seen it argued, and I don't know. This is just one guy arguing this, and I don't know how. Like, I'm not an Orthodox Christian theologian, but I know at least one Orthodox Christian writer kind of suggested that you could be like materialism isn't necessarily like human materialism isn't necessarily unchristian. Like, humans might be entirely physical with no incorporeal attributes, and that wouldn't necessarily be a problem.
Yeah, there's no ghosty thing that
there's
is
no
in you.
There's no ghost in the shell, as
which
it were.
Descartes tried to find at one point.
Anyway, Travis, we should probably stop bullshitting and just finish the game.
All right, so let's conclude this episode here.
Well, hold on. No, let's do the thing.
We'll do the thing.
All right.
Praise the sun. You'll see that a lot. Why? Because this
There
game
it is.
thrives on positivity.
Anyway, so we're hanging out. This is kind of nice. It's not
A nice flower there.
Ancient legends, it is stated
more ancient legends.
that one day an undead shall be chosen.
How you didn't see that coming, I don't know, but
Leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage
flappy flap.
to the land of the ancient lords. Lord Rams.
So if you have any amount of linguistic capabilities, you can figure out why they call it Lordran.
Yeah, they weren't exactly subtle there. Where did the crow come from? Who knows? Level up and kindle up bonfires. Who knows what that means? Travis, do you think this is a good place to call the episode?
Yeah, so let's call it. Alright, so this has been ATTREDIDON Gaming and the first episode of our playthrough on Dark Souls.
Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time.
Alright, so if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and check out further videos in the series as well as our other videos. And we will see you next time on ATTREDIDON Gaming.
Bye!
Bye-bye.